Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by AndyMark. Are you competition ready? Go to andymark.com and keep your team inspired. And by the Blue Alliance. Keep up to date on all live and archived First Robotics events and team stats at thebluealliance.com. First Updates Now is brought to you by viewers like you. Fund relies on the generous support of our fans in order to continue to keep creating content. Please consider donating, giving bits, or subscribing. Subscribe for a few bucks a month or for free through Twitch Prime. And don't forget that our subscribers get 5x chance to win on all giveaways.
Good evening, all, and welcome to the inaugural edition of InFIMidation. With nothing to recap this week, we're looking forward to the 2018 Power-Up season in Michigan and previewing some of the spicy Week 1 action. We'll also be discussing what puts a bee in Nick's bonnet, the update to the launching rules. Reporting for First Updates Now, I'm PJ Lewalski.
I'm Nick Cousins.
And I'm Allison Hurley.
All right, before we get started, I'm going to give my lovely co-hosts a chance to introduce themselves. Allison, tell me about yourself.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Allison Hurley. I'm kind of new to First, I guess. I've only been a part of it for 5 years. I was on Lightning for 4 years. Yeah, I was world champion. And now
World champion Lightning Robotics.
Yeah, Lightning Robotics Teammate 62. Yeah. And now I mentor them, and I go to Kettering University. So, Nick, how about you?
Yep, I am Nick Cousins. I am formerly of 2451 Ponage in the Chicago area. I was a student for 3 seasons, and then I was a mentor for 5 seasons after that. I am now living in Ferndale, Michigan, and I am mentoring 33, the Killer Bees.
All right, and then I'm PJ. I was a student on Team 910, the Foley Freeze, out of Madison Heights for 4 years. Then I mentored them for 7 years, and now I am on a hiatus. In that time, I've also been refereeing for 7 years. In those 7 years, I've done over 70 events. So you'll probably see me at an event this year wearing the zebra stripes. I'm the resident, I guess, old man of the group. And I think Tyler left a note that I should mention that I have a mountain man beard. Or somebody wrote that in my documents. Right. Apparently it wasn't Tyler. I don't know who wrote it in. Anyway, so first things first, we're going to sort of be talking about some general previews of what we're looking forward to in the Power-Up season here in Michigan. So what I guess I'll be going first, and what I'm kind of focusing on for this is the Chairman's Award and Chairman's favorites and all that. Specifically, the 2 teams that interest me the most from a Chairman's perspective are 33 and 503 Frog Force. 33 last year missed winning a Chairman's Award at the district level for the first time since 2013, and before that they were on a streak from 2008. So they're definitely looking to rebound. I know Nick has said that they've put an effort into rebounding and trying to get back to that chairman's level. And then Frog Force last year in a series of upsets missed winning chairmans for the first time since 2008. And in the time before last year, they were 7 for 8 in MSC Championship Chairman's Awards. So that was a ridiculous streak, and last year I know I was shocked that they weren't able to pull home a Chairman's Award, but I know that they've also redoubled their efforts becoming part of the the Compass Alliance that was founded by 125, and they're also looking to, keep up all that. So my personal favorites for the MSC Chairman's Award, 125 and others. Favorites for MSC are 548. As always, a strong chairman's team, 17-18 and 28-34. Those are also strong robot contenders as well. And I'm personally a huge fan of Team 66, Grizzly Robotics from Ypsilanti. Their chairman's video last year, I'm not going to lie, it made me cry. It was amazing of a chairman. Like, the things they're doing for their community are ridiculous, and I love them to death. So I guess, Nick, for your first season up in FIM, what are you looking forward to?
First of all, I'm looking forward to just being in districts. I haven't had a chance to experience that firsthand, so I'm super excited for that and see, how all the teams function in that kind of environment versus regular regional model, which is what I'm used to. And then I'm kind of going to focus on how FIM teams are holding up against the rest of the world as far as competitiveness and gameplay. 2767 world champions last year, along with Lightning. I think they can be here to stay as a top elite team who competes annually at the highest level. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue to stay up there. Obviously, big seasons I would expect from 33, from 67. Other teams out there. I think the Engineers could be in for another big year after how well they did last season. So, I'm just going to kind of be keeping an eye all season on how everyone's doing relative to the rest of the world, especially all the teams that are going to North Champs, since unfortunately nobody in FIM will be playing anybody at South Champs. So, rip Festival of Champions.
Okay, well, this season I want to look at a different perspective than, I guess, my two co-hosts. More like a younger perspective, coming from being a student on the team, more into the transition of like volunteering at events and becoming a mentor and things like that.
Little baby Allison.
Yeah, little baby me. But yeah, I'm really excited to like look at events from a totally different angle and like experience it that way. So
Cool.
Sweet. Well, we're going to move on to looking forward to 2018 and the events we have coming up in week 1. We're going to start with Gibraltar. Allison, what do we got going on in Gibraltar this week?
yeah, so there's 40 teams from around Michigan going to be at the Gibraltar event week 1. Some of the key teams to look out for include the 2017 World Champs Team 862 Lightning Robotics. We got 1023 and their new sister team 6852, 1718, and the Michigan State winners last year 2834. It'll be really interesting to see all of the new ideas that teams have come up with for the 2018 season. Based on past chairman's contenders, it looks like this event is going to be just as intense in the awards competition. 2834 and 1718 both won at states last year, and there are many other competitive teams going to be at the event with like 2280, TNT, we got Bedford and Lightning Robotics, a lot of different teams there. So I'll actually be volunteering at the event as a CSA, so I'm excited. And we'll see how it all plays out. PJ, what's going on up at Traverse City this week?
All right, so Traverse City, we got another. Gibraltar's also, for those not familiar with the state of Michigan, Gibraltar's up in the north part of the state. Traverse City's also up in the northern part of the state. Traverse City's been a long-standing district. It's one of the original districts from back in 2009 when Michigan switched. So Traverse City is going to see the reveals of several northern Michigan powerhouses, as it usually does. This includes 1596, the Instigators, 1711, the Raptors, 3618, the Petoskey Paladins, 3688, Sutton's Bay Norsemen, and 6075, Leland Zibrotics. And then, so these are all teams that have been very strong in the north for a long time. Well, not 6075. They're a little baby team. But but they've been really good ever since their rookie year. Last year they were fantastic. And then I want to mention sort of my like local quiet team shout out that I want to put out to is 4392. They've quietly been one of the stronger teams in northern Michigan over the last 3 seasons, and they've just kept building and getting better and better. Last year they ranked like 7th and 13th at their 2 districts, made quarterfinals and then finalist, I believe. So they're just very quietly becoming one of the powerhouses of northern Michigan, and I'm really excited to see if they continue to grow this year. Joining all of these northern Michigan powerhouses from the west side of the state are the perennial contenders 1918 and 2075. Both very good teams out from the Grand Rapids area. Hall of Fame team 51 will also be coming, seeking to heat up the north for their premiere this year. The Traverse City Chairman's Battle may be even more impressive than the Robots. Teams 1711, 3618, 3767, and 4377 have all been strong chairman's contenders in the past, and this year looks no different. I've seen some of the stuff 3618's done, same with 3767. Very cool, very good outreach. Like I said, the 1711 is the host team actually for the Traverse City District, and they've been instrumental in helping the growth of FIM up in the north. So chairmans could go to one of these 4, could be a dark horse taking home the award. We also got 3 rookies at the event, so that's always fun and surprising to see what they're going to be bringing to the table. So I guess now we're going to go over into Southfield with Nick.
Yeah, so the Southfield District event this year, for those that don't know, it's in the greater Detroit area. Probably the favorites going into this have to be 67 Hot Team and 33. Both of those teams consistently over the years are always strong, and they both generally start strong early in the season as well. 33 has won Southfield all 3 years that they've attended it, and they're looking to make it 8 years in a row that they win their first event. 67 is going to Southfield for the second time. They're looking for their first win at this event. Some other great teams that are going to be there looking to get a win: 35-38, 14-81, 17-01, and 54-36. Those are all other teams that could definitely work their way to the top if they can get past some of the early season struggles that all teams face. It's all about who can have consistency early on. So if any of those teams can do that, I think they could definitely fight their way to a high seed and a victory. Another team such as like 573, I know 573 came out with a dual climber to elevate 2 of their partners. If they can find a way to successfully do that consistently in qualifications, they could seed high, or another team like that, and have a lot of success in an early season event like Southfield. There's also a lot of Mez teams. For those who don't know, the Mez teams are some of the more inner city Detroit teams. So a lot of times early in the season, especially, they can kind of throw a wrench into qualifications a bit. So it'll be interesting to see how they affect match play and match schedules for all the different teams looking to seed high, and how those teams deal with that. As far as chairman's goes, 33 is definitely going to be one pushing hard to win chairman's at Southfield. 573, 35-47, and 35-38 are all possible winners at the event as well. It's probably going to be one of those 4, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out with chairman's at Southfield. Allison, what do you have going on at Kettering 1?
Actually, before Allison jumps in, I'm gonna interrupt.
Uh-oh.
Also, because also just note about Southfield is Southfield. I'll be volunteering there, and it has. I believe Southfield might be the best refereed Week 1 event in FRC history.
Wow, humble brag, humble brag.
No, because there are 4 certified head refs, and the other 3 refs on the crew all have 5+ years of experience. So I'm just saying there shouldn't be too many dumb fouls going on. We can hope. But...
So no launching foul calls then, right? Obviously, that's not happening.
Yeah. We'll get there in a minute. Yeah, so definitely, like I said, I'll be volunteering there. Nick will be there with 33. Make sure to come say hi to us if you see us. I'll be the tall guy in the zebra shirt.
And I'll be, I don't know, running around doing crazy things with 33, so.
All right. Now that I interrupted, Allison, now you can go ahead and talk about Kettering 1 for us.
All right. Okay, so like every year, Kettering University Week 1 has a bunch of local teams from the Flint area, pretty much. I've experienced and I worked with some of them when I was up at Kettering just a little bit ago. So they're a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to see what they're bringing to the event. And one really cool thing that happens always at Kettering events is like there's this extended spirit of cooperation, because all these teams know each other and they kind of work with each other and build with each other during build season. So it's really cool to see what they can come up with for the event. So yeah, also looking at the awards for the event, there's the 4-times chairman's winner, the Anabots, team 245. They seem to be the team to beat looking at the event and the competition. So I'm looking forward to seeing great things from all the teams. But yeah, I expect them to be the winner, but I hope somebody else can like come up and oh my god, sorry, I just got a phone call. That was weird. Okay, yeah.
Start strong, finish strong.
Yeah, pretty much I'm really excited to see what happens up at Kettering. I got a bunch of friends up there, and yeah, we're excited. I think we have one rookie unveil video at Kettering from team what is it? It's
Team Hollywood.
7
They were on
Team Hollywood, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if it's playing right now. Yeah, Team 7211. Their video was pretty good for a rookie team. It was pretty exciting to watch. they show the robot tipping over, which was pretty cool. I can't see the screen.
It's okay. Yep. So thanks for talking about Kendrick. So what I also want to give a shout out to all the FIM teams that are traveling out of district this week. So we want to wish them good luck to Team 3641, the Flying Toasters, playing in Palmetto. Team 27 Rush playing in Central New York. Wobot 141 going down to the Northern Virginia district. And then Miami Valley actually has 3 teams. 4362, the Gems, 247, the Bears, and 302, the Dragons. So, the Bears, yes.
I've already found a new favorite team, everybody. The Bears. Shout out to you for a great name.
Okay. Hush, Chicago boy. So we just wanted, all of us on InFIMidation want to wish you guys luck at competing outside and bring some trophies back home to Michigan.
All right, so we're going to move on to our discussion topic tonight, just a quick one. We wanted to bring up something that kind of came up last week of what defines a launch. That had kind of come into question before Team Update 13 had come out. There were some robots and reveal videos and such that were launching cubes at times without touching the switch, and then people were like, well, that should be illegal, right? And then they come out with Team Update 13, and they turn the whole rule on its side. I know it definitely annoyed some people out there on Chief Delphi. I know the proofs were not very happy about it. I was not very happy about it. I just, some people didn't think it was that big of a deal. I think, unlike the RO3 update that had happened before, whereas that was just not really affecting gameplay. That was just a stupid mistake that got left out of the rules in the first place. So, people getting upset about that change didn't make much sense to me. But this rule update where now you can shoot while just crossing the plane of the switch rather than having to touch the bumper up against the switch, that really changes how you can play the game and really could change, what kind of robot you would want to build. And, in a way, it definitely gives an advantage to teams who built more of a shooter style design. I'm not saying whether that negatively or positively affected our team 33 personally, but I don't like when they change things. It seems like it happens every year or every couple years. There's something literally in week 6, or in this case, bag day, where they change something. So, that's my thoughts on it. Allison, did you think this would affect major difference in gameplay of any kind? Or PJ or anybody?
I guess I'll take it.
Hear anything?
Okay. From a referee.
No.
All right.
You guys hear me?
Okay. So I guess I'll talk from a referee standpoint. I'm deeply concerned that the definition of launching was not formalized in any of the referee training materials. Like, going through referee training, taking the referee test, there is never a definition of what launching is. So even with this update changing where you can launch from, I'm still concerned that we don't know what a launch is. So I think this is going to lead to many different interpretations in different regions of the FRC. Because hopefully head referees will have some more information that they can sort of pass on down to us during on-the-job training. But, I mean, we're going to have to see. Because one of the biggest problems I've seen with games in the past is different regions calling things differently. What comes to mind immediately is Crossings from 2016. I got to the World Championship in 2016, and I was reffing, and every single different referee on the field had a different sort of definition of what counted as a crossing. Like all the New England refs called it the same, and all the MAR refs called it the same, and all the Michigan refs called it the same, and all the Texas refs called it the same. But you try to galvanize all of them onto one field, and it was a mess because we just were not we all had to hammer that out day of the event, which led to some arguments.
Well, and it also reminds me, basically with the issues they had last year, week 1, with teams projecting the gears onto the pegs. And in week 1, if you missed the peg and you just threw it on the ground, it was a yellow card, right? And everyone was getting yellow cards, and it was stupid and crazy. And I think this was like a proactive move by First to avoid that situation again, which, I don't have a problem with that. I think there were better ways to address the rule change that didn't affect gameplay as much as it might have now. But at some point they had to do something. Probably, part of me says, teams should have realized that was part of the rule, and you just have to drive up against the switch before you shoot your cube out. But I think maybe they just noticed that so many teams were going to have an issue with this that they just had to pull the trigger on it. So, it is what it is, and, everyone just is going to have to adjust to deal with it. Allison, do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's going to speed up, like, the entire...
Okay.
All right.
Whoops. All right. Allison's having mic issues, so we will check back with her. She'll tell you her comments in the chat, hopefully. So we just want to say that's sort of the end of our show for this week. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. If you want more First Robotics in your life and like what we do, all that we ask is that you let others know about this show. And this is the place to go for more FRC in your lives. If you got a few bucks to share, we appreciate it with a sub. But if not, we totally understand and are delighted to have you on board. On behalf of myself, Allison, Nick, and our producer, Tyler, I would like to thank you for tuning in, and thank you to all of our moderators in chat. Our next show is We the North, or I guess They the North. I don't really know how to say that. But we'll talk to you next week on InFIMidation.